we as people, it doesn't matter, what type of occupation you're in, what jobs you hold. Um, a lot of times people like to live off your energy, and they want you to reciprocate that same love and respect back to them, but they don't. They don't show it, Um, when it comes to people not reciprocating that same energy back to you, I've always said this: unsubscribe. And it's not saying that you're being selfish. It's not saying that you are trying to keep, your love to yourself. But a lot of times people will drain that energy from you. They will drain it. Sometimes they may not even know that they're draining that energy from you. It may be intentionally, it may be unintentionally. And a lot of times we got to hold that in for ourselves. People tend to see that, they're blessed with gifts. They're always happy. That's a coping mechanism. And a lot of times it's not a coping mechanism. It may be just we're happy, And what we need to do is be able to maintain our peace as people. And everybody hasn't mastered that yet. So what they do is they try to group around you. They try to, they're trying to learn from you. They say oh, I live off you, or oh, I learn from people like you. And that's fine. But a lot of times we have to self-reflect as ourselves and be able to understand that whatever we see in others that we want to achieve, we have to ask, well, how did you do that? How do you maintain? What do you do to supersede and be able to accomplish and achieve your goals instead of hating and sabotaging on others? A lot of times with people that have big gifts, it's not easy. God has instilled these gifts for them. And as a woman of the King and trying to bring people to the kingdom of God, it is not an easy task. I have my challenges every day. And while I continue to try to achieve, to motivate women, anybody as a whole, I am still learning. While I'm motivating others, I'm motivating myself. That's why I do what I do. It's a calling. And I couldn't have possibly recognized this calling if I did not go through life experiences, being, in personal relationships with people, having friendships that did not succeed, being able to maintain friendships with people and seeing that progression. A lot of times, people love to be around you, but you outgrow people. And that's okay, because a lot of times you learn from those situations. But just to keep back on, people that have gifts, whether it's singing, it's dancing, it's writing, it's doing makeup. Makeup, people say it's not a gift, it's a skill, but it takes a key eye to actually do what makeup artists and mules do. And it gives you options. A lot of times makeup is not who you are. It's just giving yourself options to enhance a feature on you, and that's nothing wrong with it, as long as you love yourself without makeup. And a lot of times, people get invested and they get a little bit too invested into it when you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars and you don't have a bank account, or you are not investing in assets that can continuously flourish in your life. That's when it becomes a problem. But let me back up. With gifts, if you have gifts, and people generally that have a lot of different gifts, abundant of gifts, God has blessed them, and they've blessed them tremendously, and you have to give to others. But if people see you with a lot of gifts, they want to be around you when they see that you have a beautiful spirit, you have a beautiful personality. They want to be around you, and you have to hold them accountable. They have to reciprocate that same love, and it's not pushing your ambitions on them. It's common sense. As humans, I get tired of we're human. That does not give you the right to put people through things that you're going through. If I put people through everything that I've personally been through, if I treated people how I've been treated, it would be horrible, and it's not right. So generally, when you have gifts and people flock towards you, like I said, hold them accountable, and that is what I'm trying to invest in my business. Having provoking and mind provoking phrases to let people know that, it's okay to reward yourself as a woman. It's okay to be respected as a woman. To this day, I have not lost any admiration from anybody by respecting myself. Continuously, I have loved and respect myself, and it's something that I've done since I was a little girl, and I've always, been strong-minded on not conforming. And of course, I have my flaws. I've, sinned. I've done things that I shouldn't have done. But it's all about being able to reflect, come back to yourself, and understand that, what are the consequences for your actions. And generally, when you have that type of common sense in this world, it kind of puts you a step ahead of people. But it kind of also shelters you as well. So me growing up, I had to reflect and come back and start to branch out and understand that, I had to learn God's way, but I had to also be literate in what's going on with this world, with the stock market and with assets and with property value and with the violence that's going on in the world. You can have both perspectives and still be a daughter of the King and still strive for God. And that's what I say. When you have a lot of gifts, people, when they talk to me, they're like, wow, you have a presence about you. And at first I was like, well, they just talking. But now, the older that I get, I start to understand, this gift that I have. It kind of reminds me of just being myself. That's how I feel of it. Being myself and wanting the best for myself. And if everybody strives for that, you would be amazing, phenomenal, a genius. And a lot of times when people have a lot of gifts, like I said, people will flock towards you and they want what you have. And they may not intentionally be trying to take it. It's just that they're trying to learn, but it can become overpowering. And you have to speak up. You have to let people know when it comes to family, friends, whoever. You have to speak up. And it's not being, Ayana Vazant, she said this one time, it's not being selfish, it's being self-full. Your cup runneth over. Once your cup runneth over, you have to keep that for yourself. Whatever runs over, give it to them. Give it to the people, And at the end of the day, if you're not your full self, if you are not giving yourself what you need, you can't give it to others. The poor can't teach the poor how to be rich. I mean, we can love each other, we can grow together, but somebody has to stand up and hold everybody accountable eventually. It has to happen because we are continuously mobilizing each other down the wrong way. And that's not everybody, but everybody has their flaws. If you see someone struggling, speak up about it. But the genius key of communication is being able to speak to people in a positive way. You don't have to be negative to get to your point across, to get to people. It doesn't work that way. You may instill fear in them, but you're not going to get your point across, to them. But just overall, just to sum up everything, continue to strive to be your best. If you see the best in someone else, ask them, how are they maintaining it? How are they achieving their goals? Don't try to sabotage. Don't try to bring those people down. Love those people, because God individually gives us our gifts. And as many gifts as I have, I'm continuously learning as I grow and I get older, more and more gifts that I have. Just getting closer to God, getting closer to my family, taking more risk as a whole. So eventually everybody, just self-reflect, get to know God, continue to strive to be your best, and you will succeed. All right. I love you guys. Be safe. Be blessed.